Hey everybody, welcome back to Plugin Tut. As always, your host Matt, home of the handcrafted WordPress tutorials. And today, we're taking a look at a new app. It's not a plugin, it's not a theme, it's not a service, it's an app. It's called Pressmatic, and it allows you to run and install a WordPress website locally right on your Mac. This is actually my first walkthrough of the piece of software. I haven't used it before. I literally just got done installing it. So let's take a look at using Pressmatic for the very, very first time. I guess we can consider this an unboxing, if you can unbox software. So after the install, which was fairly painless, it was a fairly large download, which was interesting. But I've got this up and running now, and it says no sites, time to create one. So I can see I can add a site here, I can add a site there. So let's go ahead and add my first site. I'll call this Matt's website. The site domain on the right hand side, this is what I'm assuming I will access through the browser, so that'll be Matt's -s website. Don't really like the hyphens, so let's just say Matt's website. I also have desktop server installed on this laptop, and I don't want to confuse what I'm assuming will be in the host file, so I don't want to confuse domains. So in fact, let me just double check that real quick. Website.dev. So desktop server is an alternative to Pressmatic. Actually been out far longer than Pressmatic. Pressmatic recently released. All right, so that's desktop server is not running anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we can see here's my site path. This is where the local files are going to be. I guess I can browse and change that if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave it as default. Clicking on templates, but nothing's happening. I probably don't have any templates created. I guess I'll figure out how to do that later on. Environment. So I see I can load up PHP version 7 and 5. That's pretty awesome and pretty painless. This is a really cool feature. The web server, I can switch between Nginx and Apache. I really like that. I wonder if I can switch as it's running after I create it. I'll figure that out later. Multi-site, that's cool with subdirectories and subdomains. I really like that. It's a nice touch. Admin, username, and password, fairly straightforward. So this would be the admin for the WordPress site, the password, and the email address. I'm going to leave all of that stuff default for now, and I'm going to hit OK. I can see now it is spinning up a site. Loading, creating site container is what I'm told here. I did talk to Clay, the creator of this app. He did tell me that this was based off of Docker, which is a web hosting stack, for lack of a better term. So now I've given it my admin password. It's installing WordPress. So desktop server, which I'm going to do a comparison video later on to compare the two, because I do use desktop server fairly religiously to make the tutorials for Plugin Tut. And I know that uses XAMPP, which is an open source sort of local stack for checking out websites and stuff like that. So okay, it's done. I can see that I'm on this sort of control panel screen, PHP version. These are all the things I set up before, all the options I set up before. Database, this is always a point of contention. Accessing database, so I can see I can access it with SQL Pro. I actually already have this installed, so let me just see what happens if I click that. I don't see anything bouncing. This is another user account on my laptop, so maybe it's slightly different. Host port. There's the database name, username and password. SSL. This is pretty cool. We can actually control a SSL certificate in this screen, and then utilities, mail catcher. Open up mail catcher. Don't quite know what this is, but I'm assuming this is sort of like, again, sort of what the name implies. It's a catch-all for mail, and that's sort of another thing on local sites. How do you send email, and how do you see all that stuff? So maybe this is sort of a log file of sorts, capturing all the emails. And if I scroll down on their website, I think somewhere, if I look for the options, so it does explain mail catcher. All right, I don't want to spend too much time figuring that stuff out. I was kind of interested to know a little bit more about the accessing the database stuff. Okay, so if I go to my domain, which is mattswebsite.dev, whoops, I copied the path. Boom, there it is. That was fairly straightforward. Now, I've already forgotten what my username and password is for this site because I am clearly not paying attention. I'm just talking and recording at the same time. Let's just try admin. Actually, I see this open up Chrome. Okay, that's not it. Let's go back to Pressmatic. Site domain change. Database. Utilities. So I wonder if I can change. I guess I can't, right? So let's just go back. Can't change a username and password, which is a bummer from there. That's okay. Let's see what happens when I do lost my password and I say admin. Your host has disabled the email function. Okay, so running into some troubles already. I should have paid more attention to what my username and password was gonna be. Let's see if mail catcher. Username is admin. Okay, beautiful. So let's get this new password. Let's see if it catches this. The email cannot be sent. Possible reason your host may have disabled the mail. All right, so the username and password is actually admin and Pressmatic as the password. I guess I should pay attention to that a little bit more. Certainly write it down if you're installing for your first time. But you can see that was really, really easy. It was super fast. All I have to do is type in that dev URL that I came up with before, which is mattswebsite.dev, and I'm in my my local WordPress site. Let me go back to the options here, and let's just see what happens. Can I change this on the fly? Change version. Are you sure you want to change PHP version Matt's website? Yes. I can see it's sort of going down right there, so it's a little gray pulse that indicates it's not loading. It won't be loading. So if I refresh, we can see here that the site doesn't load, and it says PHP version is changed. Matt's website has been successfully changed to 5.6. I'm going to hit refresh again. Boom, my site is back up and running. So that was pretty awesome. I can kind of switch in between versions, which is great for anybody who's testing plugins, or you want to upgrade your site and you want to sort of test environments really quick. What about Nginx and Apache? Let's try that real quick. Change web server. Are you sure you want to change web server? Yes. I can see it pulsing again. I'm going to refresh this. This we can tell definitely is not going to load anything because the web server's changing over. It's still pulsing over there. That's pretty cool. It's going to take a moment here, so let's see what happens next. Boom, it's back up and running. It says Matt's site is now running on Apache. Going to hit refresh again, and bam, we're back into our WordPress site. So pretty awesome, pretty easy, pretty seamless, and it worked, which is cool. Let's see, if I right-click on Matt's website, I have some more options here. So I can go right to the admin dashboard. I can reveal in Finder. So this is what you'll sort of be playing with the most. Let me pull this up. Nope, didn't pull it up. Let's try it again. Reveal in Finder. Okay, doesn't pull it up there, but if I double click on this, no. So what it should do is pull up the folder where my site actually is, which is under Pressmatic sites. I can go to Finder. And we can go to search, Pressmatic. Let's see if it pulls it up. Everything is Mac, Pressmatic sites. Boom, here's Matt's website. And in here is this is the actual WordPress install. So if you wanted to edit these files, you could do that. If you wanted to install a new theme, I could literally drag and drop a theme right from my desktop here. Same thing with plugins. So that's pretty sweet and pretty standard. Open site SSH. Let's just take a look at that. Oh, sweet. So I can come right into this, and this puts me in what I'm imagining is some kind of virtual environment. If I can go to CD app, public, and cool. There's my, again, my WordPress install. I could do things like work on the config file, that sort of thing. So that's really awesome. I really like that touch. As easy as it is to open up a terminal in SSH, this just makes it, so much easier. So that's really cool. I can stop, restart. I can duplicate. So let's take a look. Oh, there's a save as template too. So that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and duplicate a site. Matt's copy. Let's call it Bob's website. Bob's website is loading or copying over. It's adding the sites, duplicating the site container. It's creating the site container from duplicate. I like all the little touches, the little UI touches. Makes the app seem much more appish, which is probably not really a word, but it's just nice to see some of these sort of little helper text pop up, and it makes it feel a little bit more friendly. I do have to enter in my password. One thing to note is it is kind of, I don't want to say slow, but it does take some time. So it doesn't happen lightning quick, but there's a lot of stuff going on at once. It's moving a lot of files. It's creating a new environment. Pressmatic was about 450 megabytes to download, which I thought was rather large. And when I checked off the updates, I don't know if I can access it here. Anyway, you can set up automatic updates. Yeah, right here it says updates are roughly 450 megabytes. I'm assuming that has to do with the way that they've used Docker in the environment and stuff like that. So just be wary of that. It is a sort of big app. I guess you can consider that, but again, this is some pretty powerful stuff. A lot of files moving around, things like that. So we can see Bob's website there. Again, I don't like the hyphens at all. So but I did put a space in an apostrophe in my site name, so that it is probably the reason why it's done that. So I can just change that, Bob's website, and just the last attempt just to show everybody this stuff. Let's pull up Bob's website. I always copy it with that, so let's get that out of the way. So there's Bob's website. Now remember, it's a clone of Matt's website, right? So if I pull up Matt's website, over here, but I log into Bob's website, WP admin, Pressmatic, and I go to general, change this name to Bob's website. Now remember, again, it said Matt's website because I made that clone, and then I'll go to appearance, theme, and I will install my favorite new theme created by my company, Baton. Search for it, install, and once that's active, I'll activate it, and we will take a look at Bob's website. And there's Bob's website loading my Baton theme, and here's Matt's website, still on the default 2016 theme. So I guess one last thing, let's go into the settings. We can see here that we can set defaults, which is really cool. We can export, add file extension names, export, blah, blah, blah. So I guess you can do Pressmatic exports, the default terminal app, site templates. There are currently no templates, but we can see all of our templates there when we save them. Updates are enabled, and then some add-ons, which I'm assuming is coming. This one looks really cool, actually. So let's just see what happens. I'm enabling remote tunnel. Let's restart that. I read about this on their website before I installed everything. And this looks really, really cool. So I can do, let's see, I don't know how to get to it. So let's figure out how to do that real quick. Database, SSL, utilities, remote tunnel. So when I enable that remote tunnel, I can use this domain, this little unique domain right here, and I can share that with somebody anywhere in the world, anywhere on the internet. If I want them to show the local, if I want to show them the local site that I'm building, I can share this domain with them, and they can see it as if it's, or they can see my actual site. As long as Pressmatic's running, Pressmatic would be serving up this website, this WordPress website, to anyone who's accessing this URL. That's pretty awesome. That is really awesome. I mean, I really love that feature. Again, once I get into a comparison video with desktop server, we'll dive more into this stuff. But this has been Pressmatic. It's been an unboxing of Pressmatic. I think if you're looking for an alternative to desktop server, or this is your first time getting into localhost development, or you're just somebody who wants to play around with your WordPress website locally on your machine before uploading it to your web host, because you're making edits and you just want to be safe. It's a good way of doing things, sort of having a different environment to play around with. Check out Pressmatic. It's $100, and you can buy that. It's available only for Mac. So if you are somebody who's looking at desktop server, I mean, the clear-cut differentiator is desktop server only runs on, runs on Windows and Mac, whereas Pressmatic is just Mac right now. So if you need this for Windows, you're out of luck at the moment, but you can certainly sign up to their newsletter or contact them, and they'll let you know when it's available. So that's been Pressmatic. You can check it out at pressmatic.io. It's been another Plugin Tut. If you do enjoy these tutorials, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Share it on Twitter. Find us at plugintut.com. Thanks, everybody.